Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel AJIS Academy Indore. Friends, today's topic is what is impeachment and how judges of Supreme Court and High Courts are impeached or removed from their offices. My lesson plan includes why is it in the news, what is the definition of impeachment, what is the procedure for initiating impeachment proceedings against judges of Supreme Court and High Courts in India, defects in the impeachment proceedings in India, ways forward, and finally conclusion. Friends, as you know that an in-house inquiry committee was constituted by the then Chief Justice of India to inquire into the burnt currency notes found in the premises of a judge of the Delhi High Court. The burnt currency notes were found in the storeroom when the firemen came to douse the fire. The committee recommended for impeachment proceedings against the hearing judge, alleging that the said storeroom was in the active control of the sitting judge and his family members, and so the sitting judge and his family members are solely responsible for the suspicious items of burnt currency notes found in the storeroom. Then Chief Justice of India sent the finding of the committee to the President and the Prime Minister of India with the recommendation that impeachment proceedings should be taken up against the hearing sitting High Court judge. The report also blamed police officials for their slip-slot handling of the case, so much so that they neither seized the suspicious items of burnt sacks of currency notes from the scene of crime, nor they made Panchnama or the seizure memo. It is expected that an impeachment proceedings against the hearing sitting Delhi High Court judge, who has now been transferred to Allahabad High Court, would be initiated in the next monsoon session of Parliament. Friends, now question is, what is impeachment? Impeachment is a process for the removal of high constitutional functionaries like the President of India, judges of Supreme Court and High Court, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, Chief Election Commissioner of India, on the grounds of the violation of Constitution or proved misbehavior or incapacity. Friends, this process is designed to protect the independence of judges or high constitutional functionaries. It is also to ensure the accountability of these highest officials of the land. This process involves voting in the Parliament and judicial inquiry. Friends, in India, under Article 61, the President can be impeached on the grounds of the violation of the Constitution of India. Vice President can be impeached under Article 67 bracket 2, and he can be removed by absolute majority in the Rajya Sabha and agreed by Lok Sabha with simple majority. There is no specified grounds for the impeachment of Vice President in our Constitution. Similarly, Supreme Court judges under Article 124 bracket 4 and High Court judges under Article 217 bracket 1 bracket B, Comptroller and Auditor General of India under Article 148 bracket 1, and the Chief Election Commissioner of India under Article 324 bracket 5 can be impeached and be removed from their offices. These high officials are impeached on the grounds of proved misbehavior or incapacity, while the President of India is impeached on the ground of the violation of the Constitution of India. The impeachment proceedings involve the voting in the Parliament by a special majority in both houses and a judicial inquiry. On the other hand, other constitutional bodies like the chairman of UPSC and its members, the chairman of State Public Service Commission and its members, the chairman of Finance Commission and its members, the chairman of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and backward classes, they are not removed through impeachment proceedings. Rather, the allegations of misconduct or insolvency or unauthorized paid employment, incapacity like infirmity of mind and body are referred by the President of India to the Supreme Court, which constitute an inquiry committee. If the allegations are substantiated, the President removes the erring constitutional authorities from their post. However, this is not mandatory for the President to accept the findings of the Judicial Committee. It is discretionary. On the other hand, the constitutional authorities like the Prime Minister of India doesn't undergo the process of impeachment. He will stay in the office as long as he enjoys the majority support in the Lok Sabha. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha and the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha also do not undergo through the process of impeachment for their removal. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha can be removed from his post by simple majority. Similarly, the Deputy Chairman will also extend to be removed if a resolution of simple majority is passed against him. But there is one condition, and the condition is that for the removal of the Speaker of Lok Sabha or the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, there must be a 14 days advance notice given to them. Now the question is, what is the procedure for the impeachment proceedings initiated against Supreme Court judges and High Court judges in India? Friends, whenever there is an allegation of proved misbehavior or incapacity, a motion can be initiated either in the Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. In order to initiate the motion of impeachment, friends, it requires 100 MPs for Lok Sabha or at least 50 members for Rajya Sabha. The motion can be initiated either in the Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. Once the Speaker of the Lok Sabha or the Chairman, I mean the Vice President of India, accept the impeachment motion against the erring judge, he constitutes an inquiry committee under Judges Inquiry Act 1968, consisting of the Chief Justice of India or his nominee, the senior most judge of the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of High Court, and an eminent jurist. If the inquiry committee finds the allegations substantiated or proved, the motion is brought in the House for debate and discussion. After the completion of the debate, the motion is put on vote, and if motion is passed by a special majority, that is the absolute majority plus the 2/3 majority of MPs present and voting, the motion stands passed in that house. For example, if on the day of the motion, the total membership of Rajya Sabha is 242, the absolute majority will be 122. And suppose on the day of voting, there are 180 members present in the Rajya Sabha, the 2/3 majority requires that 120 MPs of Rajya Sabha must vote in favor of impeachment against the erring judge. So if both conditions are fulfilled, this is called a special majority. The same procedure is applied in the Lok Sabha, where the motion must be passed by a special majority. If both houses of parliament passes the resolution or the motion of impeachment by a special majority, then the resolution is sent to the president, who has no choice but to sign over it, and the hearing judge stands removed from his post. And now the question is, what are defects of the impeachment proceedings in India? There is excessive high thresholds. As I have pointed out, there is a requirement of at least 50 members for Rajya Sabha and at least 100 members for Lok Sabha to initiate impeachment proceeding against the hearing judge. Secondly, there is a high threshold of a special majority. The second defect is the political influence and partisanship. Friends, as you know that if suppose the ruling party has the majority in the Lok Sabha as well as in the Rajya Sabha, the ruling party may use the impeachment proceeding against a judge as a tool for political vendetta. If a particular judge delivered judgments which are against government's interests. Thirdly, the impeachment proceeding is very much cumbersome and lengthy process. Fourthly, our constitution has not defined the term proved misbehavior, and so there is ambiguity in initiating the impeachment motion against the hearing judge. Fifthly, impeachment proceeding suffer from limited transparency. Friends, as you know that there is a wide discretionary power to the Speaker of Lok Sabha or the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. A Speaker or the Chairman is not bound to give the reasoning as to why they have accepted the motion of impeachment or why they have rejected it. Similarly, the proceedings of inquiry committee is also not so much transparent as we find the trials in the Senate in the US. There is a lack of the role of civil society. The impeachment proceeding of the judges of Supreme Court and High Court is driven by the Parliament and judicial inquiry. There is no formal role for the civil society. The lack of public participation further limits responsiveness towards the judicial misconduct. An important defect of the impeachment proceeding in India is the lack of alternative mechanism. There is no provision for lesser penalties or no provision for day-to-day supervision of judges of Supreme Court and High Courts. Now the question is, what are ways forward to remove the defects of impeachment proceedings in India? Friends, the cumbersome process of impeachment should be removed through the constitution of a National Judicial and Constitutional Oversight Commission consisting of retired judges, retired election commissioners or Comptroller and Auditor General of India or experts. The grounds for impeachment, like the proved misbehavior, must be defined clearly. There is need to suspend judges during the period of inquiries so that they should not influence the process of inquiry. There is also a need to curtail the discretionary power of the Chairman of Rajya Sabha and the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, so much so that they should be compelled to write the reason as to why they are accepting or rejecting the motion of impeachment. There is a need to substitute the provision of a special majority by simple majority as it obtains in Australia. The accused judge must be prevented from tendering resignation while the impeachment process is in the progress. It so happens in India that whenever impeachment process starts, the hearing judge tenders resignation, and so they get all kinds of retirement benefits. Now I conclude. Friends, as I have already told you that the impeachment proceedings in our constitution with regard to the Supreme Court and High Court judges suffers from high thresholds, political bias, ambiguous grounds, opacity and absence of public participation. There is need to establish an independent judicial body to monitor and supervise the complaints or misconduct of judges by handling complaints, by introducing graduated sanctions, codifying grounds, enhancing transparency, and reducing or substituting two-thirds majority by simple majority in both houses of parliament. Friends, now I have concluded my lecture. If you have any suggestion or feedback, please give your valued suggestion. I will be very much grateful to you.